Captain Relthor of the Veiled Dominion prided himself on control. Every motion, every word, every decision was governed by the Dominion Code. Precise, predictable, perfect. His ship, the Obsidian Halo, was the Dominion's flagship, feared across the outer spiral. It was a fortress of polished alloy, humming energy conduits, and disciplined soldiers. So when the human woman walked into his command, deck covered in soot blood, and what looked suspiciously like Victory Relthor's calm fractured, "Get that thing off my bridge." His words came out as a hiss, and the crew instantly backed away from her. The thing in question smirked. Names: Lieutenant Kara Bishop. Terran Defense Force. You sent for a combat advisor. Her voice carried the kind of weight that didn't need rank to be respected. Her uniform was scorched, one sleeve torn off, revealing a scarred arm that looked like it had been through a grinder. She held her helmet under one arm, its visor cracked but still functional. "I requested a specialist," Relthor said, mandibles flaring. "Not a Deathworlder savage." Kara raised an eyebrow. "Then why did your command council assign me?" There was a murmur from the Veil officers. None dared meet her eyes. Deathworlders were legends, creatures from high gravity, predator-filled hells who survived things that would pulverize most species. To the Dominion, they were useful monsters. Sif kept on a leash. Relthor straightened. "We do not train death. Your methods are inefficient, barbaric." Kara smiled faintly, leaning against the halotable like she owned it. "Then who's teaching you now?" The words hung in the air like a plasma blade drawn halfway. Relthor's tendrils twitched with restrained anger. "You presume much, human." "I learn fast," she said, folding her arms. "Faster than your soldiers die, apparently." The crew went silent. No one spoke to the captain that way. Relthor's black eyes narrowed. "Explain yourself." Kara tapped the holotable. A battle projection flared to life Dominion ships being shredded in orbit over Zenthis 4. "You lost 3 squadrons in under 6 minutes. Because you tried to fight swarm tactics with formation combat. They adapted faster than your doctrine allows. You dare insult our..." She cut him off. "You asked for help. Now listen." And, for the first time in his command career, Relthor did. "The lesson begins over the next hours." Kara tore apart the Dominion's training. Manual: your troops march in straight lines. Do firing drones. Your medics panic at blood. They've never seen blood. Your armor plating is to clean it shines like a beacon. Relthor watched her move, like a storm through the training deck, barking orders to soldiers who towered over her. Yet, when she pointed, they obeyed. When she demonstrated, they stared in awe. She taught them how to fight dirty, to throw sand into enemy optics, to use cover, to move like prey until the perfect strike. "You think war is a dance," she told them, "but war's a street fight in the dark. You win by being the last thing still standing." Relthor found himself observing her longer than he meant to. She was chaos given flesh, but her chaos worked. By the end of the first week, the Dominion's strike teams were outperforming their simulators by 300%. Still, his pride resisted. "You act as though you are above command," he said during a briefing. Kara shrugged. "No, Captain. I act like someone who's buried too many friends to care about your titles." Something in her tone silenced him. The trial of Fire the Swarm returned 2 weeks later. A hive fleet 20 organic warships. pulsing with bioplasma, descended on the mining moon of Jotha Prime. The Dominion fleet mobilized, Reltha in command, and Kara at his side. "I should remind you," Reltha said as they entered orbit, "we don't train Deathworlders." Kara's lips twitched. "Good thing I'm the teacher." Then, the battle began in chaos. Swarm ships darted through space like living comets, spewing acid fire. The Dominion tried to hold formation until Kara shouted through the comms, "Break lines. Decentralize. Let them chase you, make them think they're winning." The Veil captains hesitated, unused to such undisciplined tactics. Reltha growled, "Follow her lead." The result was stunning. The swarm scattered, confused by the sudden fragmentation. Small Dominion vessels began hitting weak points, flanking the living ships, striking from behind. Kara's voice echoed through the command deck, calm and sharp. "Now, hit their central node. Fire everything." The obsidian halo unleashed its main cannon. A brilliant arc of energy ripped through the void, cutting the swarm's control vessel in half for a heartbeat. The stars went quiet. Then the Hive fleet detonated. Cheers erupted across every channel. Relthor exhaled slowly. "By the stars. You did it," Kara smirked. "We did it. You just needed to stop dancing." The cost of survival hours later, as the smoke of victory drifted through the void. Kara sat alone in the med bay, arm bandaged, helmet at her feet. Reltha entered silently. "You disobeyed my command protocol," he said. "Yeah," she said, without looking up. "And I saved your ship." He let that pass. "You risked your life for soldiers who mocked you." Kara's eyes met his. They learned. That's what matters. He studied her, being from a death world where everything tried to kill her kind, and yet she smiled like surviving was a joke. "Tell me, human," he asked quietly, "how do you fight without fear?" She chuckled. "Oh, I'm always afraid. I just get up anyway." Reltha looked down, mandibles twitching in thought. For the first time in his long career, he bowed his head slightly. "Perhaps. The Dominion still has much to learn." Kara grinned. "Then who's teaching you now?" Asterisk, the Dominion's first human instructor weeks later. The Dominion Fleet Academy opened its first joint combat division. The instructors were all Dominion veterans, except one, Kara Bishop, the Deathworlder instructor, trained soldiers who once flinched at her name. Now they followed her into live fire exercises with reverence. Her motto became the Academy's creed. "We fight not because we are fearless, but because fear reminds us we're still alive." Even Reltha attended her lectures from time to time, standing in the back, silent, watching the Deathworlder turn his disciplined army into something far more dangerous, something alive, asterisk.